What's up, YouTube? This is JP chilling with the deck profile on the Duston OTK deck. And here we go.
Alright, so in my deck I play 3 House Duston, and that's basically one of the 2 really big cards for the OTK, because what happens is when it's destroyed, you get to summon as many as possible other Dustons, or this Duston too, it doesn't really matter, from your deck or hand. And so you just spam the field, and it gets the power behind your OTK. And I play 3 Yellow Duston, and Yellow Duston's basically just one of the spam targets, and when it's destroyed, you shuffle one of your monsters in your graveyard back to the deck, so it's good for just recycling, basically. I play 3 Red Duston, and basically another spam target, and he just, when he's destroyed, the controller takes 500 damage, so basically it's just good for burning your opponent. Sometimes it sucks when it happens to you, but it's pretty funny most of the time. I also play 3 Green Duston, and Green Duston's the last spam target, and when he's destroyed, the controller has to add one of their speller traps from field back to their hand, so it's just funny sometimes. And then I play 3 Goblin King, and he's your OTK madman, basically. You just pile on the attack points with him because he gains 1,000 attack for every fiend on the field besides himself, and so basically he just, without all these Dustons, he ends up going up to 8,000 on a good day, and depending on how many monsters your opponent already has on the field. And then I play 1 Stygian Security, because it's just good for searching when it's destroyed. Because when it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon a level 1 fiend from your deck, and so basically it's good for getting House Dustin or Goblin King when you don't have one in hand. I play 2 Effect Veiler, just hand trap. Sometimes your opponent gets like something out there with a good effect, and you just can't let it go off because then they'll get too much on board. And I run 3 Battle Fader for when the deck's kind of slow, just like for a stall. And yeah, it's pretty much that. So those are the monsters. And for spells, I play 2 Arthos, and they just, when you control a level 1 monster, you can search a level 1 monster out of your deck, and if you don't use it that turn, you take 2,000 damage. So it's good for just when you have, like, say you have House Dustin on board, or you've already attacked with House Dustin and you spam the field, then you have a bunch of level 1s, so you can, if you don't have Goblin King, you can search him. It also works kind of good with Battle Fader sometimes, when you just need one of the House Dustin or Goblin King, like you don't have anything. I run 1 for 1, because, again, it's just really good to search out your level 1, basically Goblin King or House Dustin, and you just send 1 level 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, and you can search 1 special summon it, so it's good just to get your Goblin King or House Dustin out. I also run a Pot of Avarice for recycle power. It's good when you have a bunch of Dustins and other things engraved and you just need to get them back to, say, try and House Dustin again late game. I run 2 MST because I hate back row, and it's always good to get rid of that when it's in the way of your OTK. I also run the Trinity. Basically, you know, Monster Reborn, get a monster back. Heavy Storm blows up everything, and spells and traps, and Dark Hole. And that's it for spells. For traps, I run 3 Just Desserts, and that's just to do damage like when I spam the field because they have as many monsters as they can have, so I do 2,500 for their field, and it's just funny because it's a lot of damage hitting them all at one time. And I run 2 Secret Barrels because, again, it's just to do some damage like when you just have the field clogged up and they just have a good hand, like clogged up hand, and you just get a lot of damage. 1 Ceasefire because, yeah, it just does a lot of damage. If you have the field completely filled up, you do 5,000, and that's just a lot of damage coming from 1 card. I run 1 Torrential, just another dark hole basically, you know. It if they're getting too much on board, I can just blow it up and it helps clear the field for Dustons. And then I run the Solemns, and those are just to negate summons and various things. And so that's the main board. There's not really anything that you need an extra deck, but in my extra, I run 2 Slacker Magicians, and that's basically for if the game's really slow and I'm just stalling for a long period of time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's Duston OTK.
Yep, so again, that's the Duston OTK. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.